Hey everyone, today for homework you guys are going to watch this video and you're going to learn a new topic. Now today during class we already started the first part of elimination, so you have some groundwork already there, okay? We're just going to take it the step further, make it a little more challenging, okay? Elimination gets just a tiny bit more challenging, not that much. And then tomorrow we're going to review this video and what you guys did today, and then you guys will work on an activity, okay? So your job right now is you're going to watch this video, you're going to answer the following questions. I might ask you to pause. I might ask you to take 30 seconds. You can always pause me during those 30 seconds just so you can jot down any of the notes that are on here or any questions that you have. And then tomorrow I want you to bring questions for me. We'll review this topic and we'll work on the activity, okay? So right now I want you to pause this video and I want you to work on this do now question, okay? That's really from today. All right, I want to make sure that we get this, we have today's lesson down pat. Again, if you have any questions, just write it on the side. All right, so tomorrow you can ask me maybe why did you do this? Where did you get this from? Okay. All right, so pause me right now and begin working on the do now. Okay, so I hope that you guys got an answer. I'm going to go through how I would solve this do now problem, okay? So I look here and I see that my y's, remember, have a 1 in front. If we don't see it, they're already opposite signs. So that means that I'm going to eliminate my y's. By eliminating my y's means I'm adding. So I add x and 2x and I get 3x, and 11 plus 19 I get 30. Divide by 3. X equals 10. Okay? So we determined which variable we wanted to eliminate. We solved for x. Now I'm going to take x and I'm going to plug it back into one of my equations. I'm just going to do the first one. And here I'm solving for y. Okay, so what did I do here? I plugged in 10, I subtracted 10 on both sides, I got negative y equals 1. I realized that y still wasn't by itself, it has a negative in front, so I divided by negative 1 and I got y equals negative 1. Okay, so right now my solution set is 10 comma negative 1. And remember, we write it as an ordered pair, x comma y. After I find out both x and y variable, I'm going to plug it back into the original equations so I can check my answer, okay? So these are the two original equations that I have. So 10 minus a negative 1 equals 11. That becomes positive. 11 equals 11. Check. 2 times 10 plus a negative 1 equals 19. Oops. This is 20 minus 1 equals 19. 19 equals 19. Check. So they both equal that number on the outside. Therefore, I know I did it correct. Okay, so right now if you have to pause me, write down any questions. If you need to finish copying this, write down, maybe circle where you went wrong, and tomorrow we can go over it so we make sure we don't make those same errors. Okay, so now we're going to take it a step further, okay? So we're going to write down the steps. I have it on the left-hand side. There's still 5 steps, and as I'm writing it down, I'm going to show you the work on the right-hand side, okay? If at any point you need to pause me, maybe I'm going too fast, just pause me. You can rewatch if needed, okay? So step 1, similar to step 1 from yesterday or today, is put the equations in standard form. Okay, if you remember what it means by standard form, I want all my x's lined up, I want all my y's lined up, and I want all my constants lined up. What's nice is this problem is already in standard form, so we don't have to do anything with that. Okay, step 2, I'm going to put in a different color. Again, pause me right now if you need to copy down step 1, but step 2 is we're going to determine which variable to eliminate. Okay, this one is a little different on how we're going to approach this than today's, okay? So I look here and I say, all right, I need to eliminate a variable. So either I'm going to eliminate my x's or my y's, okay? If I want to eliminate my x's or my y's, I need to make them have opposite signs and same variable and number. So I'm going to first look at my y's because they already have opposite signs. So I don't need to multiply by negative anywhere. Is there something that I can multiply either to both of them or to one of them that will get me the same exact number? And there is. If I take the first equation and I multiply it by 5, I get 10x plus 15y equals 50. Remember, same as if I was just multiplying by -1, everything gets multiplied by 5. Now, if I have my 4x minus 15, I'm looking at that second equation, okay? Now I have a variable that has the same number in front, but opposite signs. All right, now sometimes you might have to multiply by two numbers. Either the top needs to be multiplied by a number and the bottom needs to be multiplied by a number, okay? But you'll eventually be able to see this and look at it and say, oh, this is what you have to do, okay, with practice. Step 3 is now we're going to add the equations. So we're going to add and solve. Okay? So this was, let me just write the numbers. This was number 1. This was number 2. And now we're going to do number 3. So when I add these, my y's cancel out. I'm left with 14x equals 70. And I'm going to divide by 14. X equals 5. So that was step 3. So I added them together and I solved for the variable x. Step 4. Again, pause me if I'm going too fast, okay? We're going to substitute back into the original equation. Not the equation that we got after we multiplied by 5, but one of the original equations. So I'm just going to use the 2x plus 3y equals 10. Okay? So this is 2 times 5 plus 3y equals 10. 10 plus 3y equals 10. I'm going to subtract 10. 3y equals 0, and I'm going to divide by 3. Y equals 0. So right now, the solution that I have is 5 comma, 0. Again, if you have any questions on what I did or why I did something, please just write it down. Okay, so if you need to pause me right now, write it down, and tomorrow you will ask me. All right, and then the last step is to check. Okay, so we're going to use the original equations to check. All right, so the original equation was 2x plus 3y equals 10. And the other one was 4x minus 15y equals 20. I'm going to plug 5 and 0. Two times 5 is 10. 3 times 0 is 0. 10 equals 10. Check. 4 times 5 minus 15 times 0. 20 minus 0 equals 20. 20 equals 20. Check. Okay? So there we go. These are the steps on how we solve systems of equations by elimination when we don't have them already, the variables already opposite signs and same number. Okay, so right now I want you to pause me, write down anything that you need to finish, okay, and then write down any questions. And while I'm paused, what I want you to do is I want you to work on this equation, okay? So pause me, take your time, finish copying that down, and begin working on that other equation. Okay, so right now you guys should have all the steps written out, and you should have this equation either almost done or all done. Okay, if you got stuck, I want you to circle where you got stuck, so tomorrow we can figure out how to like that, maybe the error that you did, or how to get past the part that you're getting stuck at. Okay, so I look here and I say, all right, none of the variables have the same number in front, but what I do notice is my y's have opposite signs. So is there something that I can multiply to either the top one or the bottom one, or maybe even both, that will get me a y's to have the same exact number? And there is. If I multiply this by 5 and this bottom by 2, I will get 10 and negative 10y. Now, if you notice, in this problem, we had to do something to the top and to the bottom. The y's are not the only ones I could have eliminated. Some of you guys might have looked at this, okay, and said, oh, I can multiply the bottom by negative 3. And that's fine too. Let's see if you got the same answer if you did it that way. Okay, so when I multiply the top by 5, I get 15x plus 10y equals 0. And the bottom, I get 2x minus 10y equals 34. Now my step after this is now we're going to add. That eliminates. I get 17x equals 34. Divide by 17. I get x equals 2. So after that step, we now need to solve for y. So I'm going to use one of the original ones. So I'm going to use x minus 5y equals 17. I'm going to plug 2 in, and I'm going to solve for y. Subtract 2, negative 5y equals 15. Divide by negative 5. I get y equals negative 3. So right now, I think that my equation, my solution is 2 comma negative 3. Okay, but I'm not done. My last step that I have to do is I have to check this solution, and I'm going to use my original equations. Again, if you need to pause me at anywhere, if you need to pause me right now because you want to finish copying this, or you want to see maybe, let's say you didn't get 2 negative 3, and you want to follow along and recopy it, pause me right now. Okay, so let's just check this. So I have 3x plus 2y equals 0. So I need to plug in my x and my y. I get 6 plus a negative 6 equals 0. So 0 equals 0. Check. And then my last one, which is x minus 5y equals 17. So 2 minus 5 times negative 3 equals 17. 2 plus 15 equals 17. 17 equals 17. Check. Okay? So your correct solution for this one is 2 comma negative 3. If you got that, I want to give yourself a big check. Okay, if you didn't get that, I want you to don't erase what you have. Just try to write it next to it, so tomorrow you can bring it to me and I can see where you went wrong. If you're able to figure out where you went wrong, good, perfect. But if you can't, leave it there. Just write the correct answer and work on the side, just so I can see where we went wrong and correct it. While you guys are finishing that up, if you already have that and you're all good, you're going to pause me, okay? And I want you to work on this last problem that I have. So pause me and then unpause me and we will go over it. Okay. So when I look here, there's a couple of options, okay? None of them are opposite signs, so I can multiply to the top and to the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top by -3 and the bottom by 5. Now, you might have done something different. That's totally fine. I want you to don't erase what you did. I want you to keep what you did, okay? What's nice about systems of equations, especially with elimination, there's many ways that I can do this, okay? I could have multiplied the top by -6 and the bottom by 4. Or the top by +3 and the bottom by -3, okay? So keep what you have and let's just see if you got the same answer. So when I multiply by -3, okay, I get -15x minus 12y equals 42. I get 15x plus 30y equals 30. Okay, again, I'm just multiplying all this out. After I do that, I'm going to add. When I add, my x's cancel out. I'm left with 18y equals 72. Divide by 18. I get y equals 4. Now I take this 4 and I'm going to plug it into one of the original equations. It doesn't matter which one you plugged it into. I'm just going to do the first one. So I get 5x plus 4 times 4 equals -14. 5x plus 16 equals -14. I'm going to subtract 16. 5x equals -30. Divide by 5. X equals -6. So right now the solution set that I have is -6, 4. If you didn't get that, why don't you just check to make sure everything's correct. See if you can find where you went wrong. If you started off differently, I want you to keep what you have, even if you got the wrong answer, because then tomorrow I want to see what you did, okay? And then the last step that we have to do is we have to check. So I'm going to use the original equations. So we have 5x plus 4y equals -14. 5 times -6 plus 4 times 4 equals -14. We have -30 plus 16 equals -14. -14 equals -14. That one worked. And let's try the last one. 3 times -6 plus 6 times 4 equals 6. -18 plus 24 equals 6. 6 equals 6. Check. Okay? So this is my answer. Again, if you didn't get that, keep what you have. Just write the correct answers and work on the side. Show me tomorrow. Let's see where we went wrong. Pause me if you need to. Copy any of this down. So now what I want you to do is I want you to go to the Google form. Okay, on the Google form you have actually 3 questions. The first question says, did you watch the video, yes or no? And then the next 2 questions, I want you to answer this. Okay, so if I wanted to solve the below equation by eliminating x, what would be my first step? Tell me what your first step is. Is it multiply the top equation by -1, multiply the bottom equation by 5, multiply the bottom equation by -2, multiply the top equation by 5? And then if I wanted to solve the system by eliminating x here, what would be my first step? Multiply the top equation by -1, multiply the bottom equation by -1, multiply the bottom equation by -2, or add the 2 equations together. Okay? And I want to eliminate x in both. So take your time, do that on the Google. That's going to be your homework for tonight. Tomorrow, bring these notes. Bring your questions that you wrote down. If you need to rewatch this video, please rewatch it, rewind. It's there for you. It is up on Google Classroom. And then tomorrow we're just going to review this, okay? Since this is your teaching, I'm just going to review it tomorrow. You'll have a do now, and then we'll probably review whatever questions you have, and we might do one more, and then you will work with your partner on an activity. Okay, again, if you have any questions, send me an email, send me a remind.